infrastructure support is rising, demand for data centers is soaring.
Every morning, a new headline flashes. Tillman Global Holdings signed $1.81 billion MOU with Andhra Pradesh to set up data centers. Google to invest $15 billion in an AI hub in Vizag. OpenAI is planning a massive 1 gigawatt data center in India. Reliance and Adani racing to build cloud infrastructure. At first, it looked like just another round of corporate news. But when I started connecting the dots, I realized that this was not random at all. Something massive is happening, something that could quietly decide who controls the world's digital future. Because when you look deeper, you realize something shocking. Countries across the world are running out of space, power, and resources to host data centers. Singapore paused them, Ireland rejected them, Amsterdam froze them. And suddenly, the world is looking at one country, India. But why is everyone suddenly rushing to build data centers in India? What are the hidden challenges that nobody is talking about? And what does this mean for ordinary people like us? The ones streaming, scrolling, creating, and living online every day. Let's break it down. So before we understand why India is at the center of this race, let us start with a simple question. Where does all our data actually live? We live our lives online, streaming Netflix, storing photos on Google Drive, asking ChatGPT for ideas, scrolling reels every single day. But this data is not floating in the air. It is saved in a cloud storage. And behind every cloud, there is a building. A massive, humming, power-hungry building filled with endless racks of blinking servers and chilled air. That is a data center, the factory of the digital world. But no, it does not make cars or even clothes. It produces something far more valuable, data processing power. In the age of artificial intelligence, this power is the new oil. But here is the twist. Many existing data centers, especially in the crowded metros, cannot increase their hosting power anymore. Why? Because they have already hit their physical limits. Power capacity is maxed out. Cooling systems cannot handle more heat. City grids cannot supply an extra megawatt. So instead of upgrading the old digital factories, the world is building brand new ones. Every new AI model, every ChatGPT query, every YouTube recommendation needs more computation. More computation needs more servers. More servers need more data centers. And a silent global race has begun. Because the country that controls data controls the digital economy. But here is the shocking part. Some of the world's most advanced nations have already said no more. Singapore paused their data center construction because they were overheating the country. Ireland rejected multiple proposals because the grid was on the brink of collapse. Amsterdam froze approvals because data centers were consuming more power than the entire neighborhood. So the global race is not just about building the future. It is about finding places that can still support the future. And into this picture steps an unexpected player, India. But why India? Because India has quietly become the world's next data goldmine. India generates nearly 20% of the world's data, but hosts only 3% of the global data center capacity. This massive gap is a $1 trillion opportunity, and the world's biggest tech companies have already noticed it. India offers something rare: cheap power and construction, hundreds of millions of new internet users, a booming AI market, and government policies that say, keep Indian data inside India. That is exactly what the global tech companies like Google, Microsoft, AWS, NTT, Reliance Industries, and Adani Connex are betting billions in setting up data centers. But there is a hidden challenge beneath all this excitement. At the current speed of data growth, India's existing data centers will run out of capacity in just a few years. And that is the real reason why the world is rushing to build new ones. But here is the catch. Every revolution runs on something, and this one runs on electricity. Data centers are power-hungry beasts. A single hyperscale facility can consume enough energy to light up 1 lakh homes. And India? It is hot, it is humid, and many city power grids have already stretched thin. So how do you keep these giant digital factories running without melting the grid? This is where the innovation comes in. Companies are moving towards renewable energy, liquid cooling, immersion cooling, AI-optimized heat management, and modular stackable mini data centers. Because older facilities cannot take any more load. Cooling becomes brutally inefficient in Indian summers, and traditional air-based cooling wastes massive energy and water. So if India wants to lead the race, it cannot just build fast, it has to build smart. But behind these headlines, a silent corporate war is unfolding. Google versus Amazon, Adani versus Reliance, Airtel Nextra versus Yota versus Control S, each one racing to build faster, bigger, cheaper, and greener data centers. But here is the irony. As these giants fight, they are also racing against the time. Because AI has changed everything. Models like GPT-5, video AI, and real-time recommendation engines are doubling global commute demand every 12 to 18 months. If companies do not expand fast enough, the world will literally run out of data center capacity. And that will slow down the global AI development. Even Indian states are now fighting for this piece of a pie. Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra, all of them are offering tax breaks, cheap land, and lightning fast approvals. Because whoever hosts the servers hosts the economy. But beneath all this chaos is a much deeper story. This is not just about technology, it is about digital sovereignty. If your nation's data lives abroad, your economy lives at someone else's mercy. But if your data lives on your soil, you own the power. For India, this is not just about building data centers. It is about building independence in the AI era. About making sure the next trillion-dollar digital economy runs from India for the world. But independence always comes with responsibilities. With every new facility that we approve, we must ask, can our grids handle the extra load? Can our cities spare water used for cooling? Can we manage heat emissions in warming urban zones? Can we prevent old centers from becoming energy-wasting liabilities? Because data centers can empower a nation or quietly drain it. So the next few years will decide everything. If India plays its cards right, it could become the world's digital engine room, powering AI, cloud, payments, and streaming for billions of people. But if we stumble on power, policy, or even sustainability, this gold rush could quickly turn into a gridlock. So here is the real question. As the world builds its digital brain, will India be its memory or just another server rack in someone else's system?